Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dana and today I have this easy recipe for you. Is for this bread called focaccia, and I will start with ingredients for the dough. I need here 630 grams of flour or 5 cups, and I'm going to use bread flour. I'm going to need 10 grams of dry yeast and 2 teaspoons of sugar, also 2 teaspoons of salt. We need to give flavor to the dough, 60 milliliters of olive oil and 400 milliliters of warm water. Let's start activating the yeast, fancy words we're using here. So I'm going to mix yeast and sugar and warm water, about 50 milliliters of warm water, and some flour, like 1 tablespoon of flour. Just mix these ingredients together and let them aside for about 10 minutes. Yeast will bloom, it will transform, and it will be like a foam almost. In a bowl, I'm going to mix flour with some salt. I'm going to knead the dough with the mixer. I have a KitchenAid mixer, so it's powerful enough to knead the dough. So first I'm going to mix flour with salt. This way yeast will not be in direct contact with salt, so we're not going to prevent the rising. Pour over the yeast now, and I've told you it's going to be like a foam. So pour that over the flour and salt, and of course gradually we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients. You can knead the dough by hand for about 10 minutes. It's gonna be easier and faster with the mixer, but it's working with hands as well. I'm going to pour now olive oil over and gradually warm water, and let the mixer run for about 10 minutes. I prefer to have a wet dough than a really dry one, so make sure to add enough liquid over the flour, because the bread will be fluffier, the dough will rise faster, and overall aspect of the bread will be better if you have enough liquid in the dough. After kneading with the mixer, you can shape it with your hands and clean the mixer bowl, grease it with some olive oil, and put the dough in the mixing bowl. Just let it rise. Cover the bowl with cling film or with a clean kitchen cloth and let it rise until it's going to be double in size. Keep the bowl in the kitchen in an area protected by cold air, and let it rise. In the meantime, I'm going to chop some rosemary, fresh one. You cannot have focaccia without rosemary, so make sure to chop some fresh one. And when the dough rise properly, I grease the oven tray with some olive oil. Put the dough in the tray, and with my fingers I'm going to shape it. So you don't have to use a rolling pin or anything like that. Just with your fingers stretch the dough and make those unique dips in the dough. As you see, the dough is super fluffy and nice, so just take your time and stretch it with your fingers. I love this bread, it's so versatile. you can eat it warm. It's like a pizza without the toppings. Just simple dough. You can eat it with a soup or make it as a sandwich. Drizzle some olive oil after you stretch it. I'm going to add rosemary, sprinkle salt and pepper. You can add chili flakes as well if you want. It's up to you if you want it a bit spicier. Also, I'm going to cut cherry tomatoes in half and place them on top of this dough in the dips that we made with our fingers. Some red onion, slices of red onion, and I'm going to bake this dough in the preheated oven at 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. After you take it out of the oven, you can sprinkle a bit more olive oil, and it's ready to be served. Either warm, either cold, is delicious and easy to prepare. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you here next time with another recipe. Until then, don't forget to find reasons to smile.